guys, my name is Brittany. Welcome back to my channel. I am so excited to have you here because this is an exciting topic. I thought I would bring you along and just kind of give you some of my tips and tricks on how I try to plan out our Christmas in the most frugal way. First off, I thought I would share how I go about doing it. So I would encourage you to write down everything when you're thinking through decor. You're thinking through your advent calendar, your traditions, who you have to buy for. You're thinking what you'll be gifting, setting your budget. You'll be thinking about what you want to be baking. And I want to give you just a quick rundown, but the best thing you can do for yourself is to sit down and write those things down. So once you have all that written down, now go back and cross out a few things that you just do not need. I know once we start to get on the social media accounts and we start seeing what other people are putting up, it kind of makes us want to do some of those things as well. But be thinking as you're making your list of the things that you are going to want to purchase. And as you're thinking of that item, think, is this going to bless me or is this going to bless my family? If you're on a tight budget, you're trying to save money, you're trying to do this as wisely as possible, I think it is wise that we spend money on the holidays on things that are going to bless others and not ourselves. I'm not saying you can't get a Santa coffee mug or whatever you're thinking, whatever you're wanting, but be mindful on, is this item for me or is this item truly going to bless my family? Be prayerful and think through, like, Lord, okay, is this something I need? This is just an added tip in here. As you're making your list, try to think of the things that you can purchase by shopping online, like grocery pickup. So you could do grocery pickup at Target, Walmart, HEB. If you live in Texas, I'm sure Kroger's and Albertsons and all of those do those grocery pickups as well. So try to alleviate yourself from going into the store, because that will only make you want to buy more, because you're going to see all the beautiful things. My next tip is, after you've written everything down, pray over it. Pray that the Lord would give your heart contentment and that you would be filled with His joy and thanksgiving. We absolutely have a very blessed life here, and so I would also encourage you, if you're seeing this before Thanksgiving, not to neglect Thanksgiving, the Thanksgiving holiday, but rather use this as an opportunity to give thanks to our Lord and delight where God has us today, and then allow that mindset to help you go in to the holiday seasons as you start your planning for Christmas, remembering that we have much. Don't allow your joy to be taken. We get to celebrate the greatest gift. We received Christ this holiday season, right? That's why we celebrate Christmas, because Christ took on human form and came down. We received our given Messiah from God, and so that is the greatest gift in itself. That is worth celebrating all on its own, apart from all the other fluff. If that is all you get to do, do it joyfully, rejoice in the eternal life we're given, and allow that to be enough. Okay, so get into His Word and celebrate Advent. You can simply get envelopes from the dollar store, write 1 through 25 on them. You can go online, print out verses, and add a simple candy cane to every other one, a little lollipop to every single one. Add those verses on the envelope, add that candy cane, string it up on a string, or just lay one out for your children each day. And that is a simple little thing that you can do for Advent while you are thinking through, how can I do this on a budget? There's just so many options. Don't allow all the things other people are doing to come in and discourage you. And so, that being my third tip, if you're finding yourself discouraged by the things that you're unable to do, get off of social media. Just do it. Do it for your family, do it for yourself, and do it so that you are not finding yourself in an uncontent state, because then we are disobeying the Lord. So you don't want to do that. I would encourage you, get off. I absolutely know you won't regret it. You will actually see that you are finding more intentional time with your kids. You are then finding yourself in a more creative position. I can't just run to Pinterest, or I can't just pirate some ideas off of YouTube or social media. So how can I, wanting to do, for example, wanting to do an advent calendar, how can I make an advent calendar? And allow yourself to get creative. Allow yourself to invite your kids along, and y'all do this together and plan it out. And you will be so thankful. You will never regret a fast from social media. I can guarantee you that. And then tip number 4 is prep your holiday supplies. Now get ahead, get your holiday supplies planned out. Plan your wrapping, plan how you're gonna wrap food, plan how you're going to tie it up and decorate it, and then stick to that theme. Use what you already have. When it comes to wrapping, use, if you don't already have certain things on hand, just go for ribbon or tulle or twine or a combination of. They're both very inexpensive. You can always get these half off at Hobby Lobby, which is going to be your wisest choice unless you can possibly find it thrifting. Print out your Christmas tags. You can find free printables if you have a computer. Go to the library and print them. And you can find just stunning little tags to add to your gift. And you can use your baker's twine to tie that on. You can find tinsel for very inexpensive, just to add a little extra to your gift. And then grab, if you're doing baked goods, I need to do a DIY gift guide, but you bake some treats, these inexpensive treats, and then you can add that to your gift, and you instantly have a thoughtful gift that for under $2, and you can gift that to any teachers, neighbors. Pick up a few tins. These are worth thrifting. I just know they're going up in price, but I thrifted this. And then you can find them at Goodwill. You can find them at Dollar Tree. Snag those, and then that is a simple gift for men when you bake. Brings me to our next topic, is baking. Use baking as a form of gift giving, but when you're looking up treats on Pinterest, look for 3 to 5 ingredient Christmas treats. This will allow you to get more bang for your buck, and rather than choosing a holiday treat that takes 10 plus 15 ingredients, you're using a 3 ingredient recipe that will allow you to really make multiple and more. So one way to be wise and frugal is to bake your holiday treats. You also can add these treats to your children's stockings. So rather than buying bagged candy or bagged candy for advent calendars, cook up a few chocolate pretzels, chocolate covered wafers, cook up some peanut butter balls or just simple caramel popcorn, and bag them up. And then you can add these treats that are beautiful, homemade, delicious, and will be a blessing to whoever receives them. Cooking these treats from scratch is going to be the wisest thing, because it will really help cut cost, and it will allow them, your treats, to go further. So if I already said this, but use Pinterest. Allow Pinterest to really inspire you on ideas. Next tip is don't buy decor if you are struggling to reach your budget for this year. If you want maybe 1 thing or 2 things, but don't feel necessary to go out and buy decor, you can, there are things that you want to buy, or you just flat out have nothing, then go out and get a tree. Use something unconventional. So if you have a tree outside that you have in a pot, or you have a big plant, bring it in, wrap lights around it, put a pretty piece of fabric or scarf or blanket around, and use that. Again, don't allow the commercialization of our culture to make you feel like you cannot have a good Christmas or that you cannot bless your family. Just remind yourself constantly of what we are celebrating. Now, my channel, I love anybody to watch it, but it is always going to be geared towards the believer. And so we are doing a disservice to our children when we are removing the focus from Christ during the holidays. If our children are more focused on Santa, more focused on gifts, more focused on receiving, then they are totally missing it, and we are I won't say failing, but it is our job to train them up in the nourishment and admonition of the Lord. And when we are setting before them these holidays and these celebrations, let us always be mindful of why we are doing them. My next tip is gifts. Being mindful and wise about the way you spend what you're spending on gifts. So one tip is, if you have multiple children, I have 4 children, for 5 and under, so they're all very close in age. I can do a one gift for all 4 that they'll all use. That is how it goes in our house anyways. Even if we buy magnet tiles for one, building blocks for another, Lincoln logs for another, it all gets in a box and everybody uses them. It's fine. That is okay for there to be one gift for the whole family. So you can also be thinking, apart from your children, a family. So if you want to just buy a big nice bag of popcorn from the dollar store and a gift card, and you put it in there to the movies or to a restaurant or to Fandango, that they could do it at home, that is a gift. And it could be for a husband and wife, it could be for a whole family with multiple candies. You know, you can go to the dollar store if it's a family of 4, buy 4 boxes of candy, 1 big bag of popcorn, add the $20 gift card, and you have given a gift to everybody. And just put the whole family's name on that gift. Also, be looking in your local thrift stores. I have a video, thrifting Christmas gifts, and what are some of my tips and tricks for when I do that, and I can link that below. I have that video for you. But also, when you're thrifting, just be looking for things that you can gift. These are not even open, so that's perfect. But you can also look for things that look so gently used. Your children will not know. So that I have that. I've thrifted just crafty things that I can add to a craft kit. I found this train whistle for my son. I'll take it out of this bag because obviously that looks pretty rough. And I will toss that into a stocking. Nice wooden gift for $1. And just be mindful when you're thrifting. Get started now. You have to go kind of regularly, keeping an eye out. But again, take your list. You've already, if you're following along, you've already written everybody down. You've already started to brainstorm certain things, and then thrift along those lines of who you're buying for. When you're going to the thrift store, you have people in mind and you're intentional about what you're looking for. Looking for nice items that are either new or extremely gently used and are actually geared towards that person. And that is just a great way to spend money without putting a large ticket item on the gift. And then also, again, like, just be mindful. You can thrift things for their stocking. You can thrift things for their advent calendar. You can thrift holiday decor. Just be looking, be mindful and wise, and try to write down some of these things so you're already going into the thrift store with an idea of what you're looking for. And then next, with still talking about gifts, when giving certain gifts, think along the lines of consumables. Is this something that this individual can use up You know, if you know them, that's perfect, because you can give them something you know they're going to use. For example, if it's if it is your sister-in-law and you know she likes a certain brand of lipsticks and you know it's something that she's going to use up, I still consider that, well, that is a consumable. It can still be used up. If you're doing the baking route, obviously that's going to get used up. If you're using, you know, certain gorgeous dish soaps with the dish towel, candle with the dish soap and a tea towel, these are consumables. These are things that are going to get used up. And also just a practical gift that anybody can use. And you can find those while you're thrifting or at Walmart, and that will help keep your costs down. Again, just look up hostess gift ideas. That's always practical things that you can look on Pinterest and just get some ideas on sweet ways to wrap them. And then when thinking on stockings, just think of things that your children might actually need. Like if you're planning on spending the money anyways, then go ahead and just set it aside for a few more weeks, or get it early and just put it in their stockings. So for example, my kids both, I think all four might need socks. And so I'm really thinking about getting them all a set of socks and just putting those in their stockings. And then don't buy junk. Don't buy just fillers just because you want a full stocking. Buy things that are actually practical, can be eaten up, and are actually going to be used. For example, another example, my children need new markers. So that also can be an item that I know is going to be used up. It's not junk, and I can add that into their stocking or wrap it for Christmas. Thinking of things that they might need. Now again, of course, if your child has really wanted something or is asking and you have it within your budget to get it, then go ahead and do so, or rely on the grandparents. If the grandparents are asking, let your grandparents know that, hey, this is something that they've been asking for. It does not have to be from you. And also, I would really want to direct our hearts, because I know I have struggled in the past with wanting certain things to be from me, and it has come from a place of pride. And as believers, we should always be trying to walk, or seeking the Lord to help us walk out this life in absolute humility. There is no room for pride for the believer. And so if you find, I don't know, the holidays are so good at just revealing yuckiness in my heart. And so if you have seen some of this in your own heart, just repent, bring that before the Lord, and allow there to be freedom from these things. We're not a slave to any of this. And that brings me to my next thing. So we can see it on social media, all of the stuff with the Christmas cards. We ourselves receive the beautiful Christmas cards, and they can really add up. Don't worry about getting photography. This is my next tip. Take your own Christmas pictures. Go outside, find a park, wear whatever. Your outfits don't have to be matching. Take a pretty picture of your kids or all together, prop it up on the tailgate of your truck, and take your picture, and then send it to Walmart. Walmart has a very affordable option when it comes to Christmas cards. So you've taken your own picture, and you can then have them printed right there at Walmart. If you do not have the budget to buy Christmas cards, like the actual pictures, then go back to writing handwritten Christmas cards. This has 8 cards for $1. Now this is old. I think I got this last year or the year before. And allow your kids to draw a picture, or you yourself just write a sweet note to somebody who's been a lot to you, and allow the card to tell them exactly what you want them to know. And it is okay for us to break away from what everybody else in the culture is doing. My next tip is when it comes to traditions. When you're thinking through your Christmas traditions and what you want to do with your kids, again, like I encouraged you, write them all down. Again, if you have none, you can look some up on Pinterest. As moms, we should be trying to cultivate an atmosphere that is geared towards pointing our children towards Christ and us focusing on them. And so if it is as simple as a movie and hot cocoa, think through how you can do that on a budget. For example, we have where we do gingerbread making as a family with my extended family, and it has become a competition. But now on this side, I have figured out a way to do it more economically. Rather than buying gingerbread kit, I can actually use graham crackers and buy a whole box of graham crackers and icing myself and do it that way. You know, just think through, take the time, get off, think through, okay, I want to make a hot cocoa bar. How can I do this as economically savvy as possible? Or how can I do this as thrifty as possible? And think through and get it done, and you can do it. God has given us the ability to use our brain and to be creative. And so let's do that, and let's bless our families with our creativity. My next tip is to just be planning as you're making your list of who you have to give for. Think of how many gifts you can do yourself, DIY gifts yourself. There are tons of excellent ideas on Instagram and Pinterest and YouTube, and so be thoughtful of that person and think of how you can do a DIY gift yourself. Really expensive, but just think about this person personally. What would be something that would bless them? If it's somebody who likes to garden, look up garden gift baskets and it'll show you certain things, and then you can just kind of pair a terracotta pot with a bag of seeds and some work gloves, wrap it up in your cellophane, put a beautiful bow, put your printed tag, and you have a gift that is personal and, again, consumable. This person loves to garden, it's gonna get used up. So I DIY'd a game night bag. No, not my own idea. I found this on Pinterest, but within this gift, I am going to I added some dice, I added some playing cards, and then I added this. It's all DIY'd. I added this little game night book, and it tells them all of these different ways that they can play with either the cards or the dice, and I found that on Pinterest. And so if you want this gift idea, I will link it below. And then on the bag, I actually just had some of these bags laying around, and then I took stamps and I just put game night, and I'm thinking I'm gonna pair it with a gift card to Specs. The person I'm gifting this to likes to go to Specs, and so when he has some friends over, he has game night ideas, and I just thought that was really sweet, and that was very inexpensive. I bought these at the dollar store. I bought the little brochure, it's an album, like a photo album. I found that at Dollar Tree, and then I just printed everything on the computer. I'm thinking I might even take the dice out of here just to even make it look a little more glam, because the cards are really nice. And I found these at the Dollar Tree, and they had multiple ones, but this just looked a little fancier. And just try to keep theme, like when you're doing a DIY gift, keep the theme the same, and that will instantly make your gift look more expensive. And so I hope this was helpful. I would love it if you followed me over on Instagram, where I share a lot of this, like just in real time as I'm getting things in or as I'm wrapping or gifting certain things. I also, on my Instagram, I share all about biblical womanhood and what it is, just the joys that come with motherhood, being a wife, homemaking, and frugal living. I am so thankful that you're here. If you liked this video, I'd love it if you subscribed, and I hope to see you around.